What's going on? What's going on? This is Phil Jones, Mike Jones, coming to you guys live in effect as always, and welcome to another exciting episode of the POV podcast. I'm going to fly solo today because I got something very specific I want to talk to you guys about. In case you guys read the title, today we're about to have a conversation about something that's near and dear to my heart. It's called the idiot tax. What is the idiot tax, you say? The idiot tax is any time that you find yourself paying unnecessary money because your affairs were not in order. So we're just gonna call it straight down the middle. It does not matter if you did not have financial education. It does not matter if your parents did not set you up with the trust fund. It does not matter what the circumstances are. We are just merely dealing with the facts of what you are ignorant to will come back and bite you in the behind. So you mess up your credit, don't worry. There's somebody that is willing to extend you a line of credit, but it's going to cost you. They are going to tax you in every sense of the word. You forgot something at home, you need it. Guess what? There's somebody that got it for you for that convenience store price. You forgot to pack lunch. Don't worry about it. McDonald's got a brand new value meal for you for 12, 13, 14, $15. That Chipotle bowl, $10 plus the chips and the drink, whatever else. Everybody's got something for sale for you because you don't have your affairs in order. So let's not even just go there as far as food. Let's just start with the basics. Now I'll open up by telling you guys a little bit about my backstory. So, first things first, when I first experienced the idiot tax, I burned up a bank account when I was fresh out of high school. Let some people convince me about doing this thing, running this fraud situation. And I can be perfectly transparent about it. I served my time in check systems. I did what I did. I don't care nothing about judgment because this is a place where we can be honest and transparent. So, burned up a bank account, did something extremely stupid, got put in check systems for it. So, at this point in time, this is around the time that Washington Mutual was still around, if anybody remembers that bank. Washington Mutual, I had a checking account, savings account, ended up burning up something happened with the checking account. I think that I was overdrafting and closed the account. The other bank account that I had, they ended up putting me in check systems for it. So all I had was a savings account. So I'm getting all of my checks direct deposited to my savings account. Every time that I need access to money, I have to go and withdraw cash to go and spend money to go to the grocery store because I can't use the savings account card to just go and make everyday purchases with no Visa, MasterCard logo on it again. This is the time that I was in. So I got all these different nuances and stuff that's going on with me that is completely hindering my ability to operate like a normal, regular person. Stupid me. Now, regardless of whatever happens, I made that decision. I put myself in that situation. However, now you got to go places to where everywhere that you go, you have to eat time up to go and acquire cash so that you can go and spend whatever money that you need to spend. Every time that you need to do something, you can only do it in cash. You can't do it with your card. You can't get access to the things that you need. Nobody wants to take a chance on you with financial instruments because you in check systems. You got to, so you got that red tag on your name. That says what it is. So now you take it a step further. I had a cell phone bill and the Capital One credit card in my name. Capital One with no financial literacy at all. Did not know that I can make minimum payments on that card. What do? Just like any other idiot under the sun, default. Same thing turns around with the Sprint phone. Got to a place to where I wasn't maintaining payments. It goes into collections. Boom. Now that's it. That's all. I'm stuck in another bad situation. So I'm batting 1,000 at this point. But to take it a step further, I'm transitioning from moving. So I stop at a relative's house. Back in the day, we used to have these long coach wallets that we used to keep our stuff in. Because I was transitioning, I had my social security card, my driver's license, everything in it. It must have fell out of my pocket while I was at my relative's house. House was kind of a trap house, so people was in and people was out all the time. Come to find out only years later that somebody ended up stealing my social security number, had my ID, everything under the sun, and they literally, I kid you not, ran me into the ground. My father was coming to co-sign on the car for me because nobody would extend credit for me to get a car so I can get back and forth to work. So what ultimately ends up happening is that the gentleman, the car dealer, he's like, hey, I probably shouldn't be showing you this, but because of your age, there's something wrong and you might need to go ahead and take a look into it. I look on it, it's all these different transactions, these different default judgments that I know nothing about. So I have, and again, regionally, if you guys don't know who these people are, then I'm just trying to explain it to you. So like Commonwealth Edison's local light company collections. Somebody ran into the ground like $1,500-$1,600. Wild Cable and Internet ran into the ground, I think like $900. People's Gas ran into the ground about $1,500. And then on top of it, to add insult to injury, now I have an eviction on my credit report from a place that I never lived. I know nothing about it. How does this tie into the idiot tax? I did not protect my most valuable asset, which was my name. And people had access to everything that they needed to burn me. And where the opportunity was there, they took clean advantage of it. So now you find yourself to where you're trying to battle it out with the light company, battle it out. I have to go to court and go subpoena or try to get the thing back in court so that I can validate who I actually was, just so that they could reverse the eviction and take it off of my credit report. Then light company saying, hey, I hear what you're saying, but if it wasn't you, then who? Guess what? Somebody got to pay us our money. I don't want to hear it. So I don't know anything about how to deal with credit card companies, how to deal with credit report companies. I'm telling them, hey, it wasn't me. I live at this address. I've always been at this address. When I wasn't at this address, I was at this address. Here's the mail flow. Here's the this, here's the that. They don't want to hear it. So I'm literally sitting here in a rock and a hard place. I have no bank account other than that savings account. I have no access to credit. Nobody wants to put their hands on me. Now, let's take it a few steps further. Now, when I'm actually starting to pay attention to credit and start to learn a few things about a few things, I've come into a credit card company called First Premier. If anybody's heard about First Premier Credit Card, they are probably, if not the single worst credit card company on the face of the planet. How does this tie into the idiot tax? Because the interest rates are egregious. Then on top of, they charge you an annual fee that was broken down into monthly payments. So the moment that you get the card, they automatically take a fee out. So they give you a $300 credit card limit. You start off with like $225 because they already took $75 off top. And it's probably going to be an additional $8.25 or $9 or whatever the fee was at that time each month, every month until. No negotiating down, high interest rate, whatever. You got to go with it because you have no other access to credit. Nobody else will put their name on you. So I'll do all the steps, everything that I feel like I need to do. Apply for a credit card limit. They won't give me an extra limit, but they'll call me and say, hey, I can give you another card. So in my mind, okay, well, I got another card with a little bit of a higher limit. Again, don't know. Don't play these stupid games to win these stupid prizes. That blows up. So now you find yourself in this perpetual wheel to where now I'm paying two cards with too high limits. I'm not making a whole bunch of money. I'm a college student at the time. I'm barely making ends meet. And now I'm in debt into this situation because still I'm financially illiterate. I'm not really paying attention to the fact that how I'm spending my money and the things that I'm doing are not conducive to how I need to live. So you're getting high interest rates. You're paying the monthly fee for the card just to even have access to the card. Barely doing anything for your credit limit. Barely doing anything for your credit at all. You're still fighting these other things off, which it took me till I was about 23 just to get those things off. So literally, I had to go through the ringer over and over again, year after year after year, with no bank account, poor credit, and just trying to figure out how to make the world work with little to no means. And you really don't understand how difficult life is without those financial instruments. So, idiot tax. Let's talk about it. When it comes down to the idiot tax specifically, what it is that with your lack of understanding about the things that you are doing or putting your name on, it will cost you in the long run. Student loans. You go to school and you feel great. I'm going to college. I'm about to do something with my life. I'm going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. All of a sudden, you go into this career field You can't find a job in it. So now you have 30, 40, 50, 60, God knows how many dollars in student loans that you feasibly can't afford to pay back on the salary that you're earning because you went into a field that is dead. Oh, well, I didn't know that I couldn't get it, that it was difficult to get a job in psychology. I didn't know that degrees in sociology or social sciences didn't make a whole bunch of money. I didn't realize that in order for me to really make money as a teacher, I need to go into college and I need to work myself into these situations at the university level. You don't know. Now, guess what? People can blame that on the institutions. They can blame that on the education system, blame it on their parents. Regardless of blame, the idiot tax stands. That when I'm paying these student loans and I'm making ends meet barely, and I'm looking at it saying I'm making $50,000 a year, but I'm paying $500, $600, $700 a month in student loan payments. That's the idiot tax because I didn't know that this was not a lucrative thing for me to go into, that this was not worthwhile for me to go into, that there were very little jobs into these things. You will always get smacked for what you don't know. So you look at this and you say, even in another example, buy here, pay here. Oh, I done burned up my credit. I can't go to a traditional car lot to go get me a car. Well, guess what? Now I can go over here to these places where they got the you pay us every time that you get paid. We go ahead, direct deposit it over. You come over, pay it every 2 weeks, and then you're gonna end up paying an overinflated amount for a car that's not even worth the money that you're paying for it. So now a car that's Kelly Blue Book is $4,000, $5,000. You about to pay over the duration of time like 12 or 13,000 for that same car. Why? Because that's associated with the idiot tax. Because you didn't have your affairs in order, now you have to go and do something strange to get it. But like I said in the beginning, somebody will always extend you credit, but it will cost you. You want a house? Okay, yeah, they'll tell you. No problem. You got a 550, 600 credit score. Okay, we prefer a 620. We prefer a 640. We prefer something around here with these interest rates. Well, you got this low credit score, no problem. You a subprime borrower, FHA, we're finna smack you with the idiot tax. This is gonna be your interest rate. It's gonna be a variable APR, and then once you get it, it's gonna start off with these low payments, but over the next 2, 3, 4 years, what you're paying 800, 1,000, 1,200 a month, is gonna now be $2,200 a month by the time the full extent of that loan kick in. It's like, whoa, 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 what happened to my bills? Well, that's the idiot tax. And that's what happens to many of us is that we get into situations either out of desperation, lack of knowledge, uh, burning ourselves up, burning our names up early on in our lives, and not really realizing the importance of what it is that we have. So, how do you avoid paying the idiot tax? First and foremost, get your affairs in order. If you're in debt, people will talk to you about um, you know, doing all types of unscrupulous things. Pay your bills. Let's just look at that. You got credit card debt, pay your bills. Let's start that. Just pay your bills. Pay your collections, pay your bills, negotiate getting that stuff off your credit report after you've done. Clean your plate. It took you 5 years to get into that mess. Take the 5 years to get yourself out. Trust me, it's worth it. Next thing to avoid the idiot tax is research what you're going into. If you have children or you're trying to go back into college and go through another profession and figure some things out, go make some money. Take this $1,000 device that everybody has in their possession, get off Instagram and TikTok, and go and use the Google bar and search and research fields that you're interested in. What schools offer it, what tuition looks like, financial assistance to be able to go to school that does not require student loans, find out about all these billions of dollars in scholarships that go unclaimed every year. See how you can tap into a couple of those. Go talk to an admissions counselor at those schools. Get yourself involved in trying to figure out how to solve your problem the right way. And before you know it, you'll be surprised that with the due diligence that you put in, what you can find out, how easily you can transition from one situation into another one. If nothing else, go to work a second job, put a couple of extra dollars away, and just start chipping away at whatever situation you got. I want to go to school, take some classes, even if I got to piecemeal my way through it. Do not continue to add more debt unnecessarily if you can find a way to not do it. That little block of extremely hard work can make a smooth landing for the future. But you have to assess the situation that you're in, deal with it appropriately, and then allow yourself to start going through the steps. Will it be hard to pry yourself out of a situation that you've been dug into? Absolutely. Divorce, whatever the case may be, there's a myriad of different situations that's associated with the idiot tax. You don't have to do it. Buy here, pay here's. That was one example. Uh, the subprime mortgages, that's an example. One of the more recent examples is where you go through these credit alternatives, the SEMAs, the afterpays, the what's the other ones? Jesus Christ, there's so many of these little things that you can use. Firms, you go through all these things. It's like, oh well, I can get these in these low monthly payments, and before you know it, now you have 13 low monthly payments, which is another big bill that you struggle to pay. You don't have to do it that way. You don't have to do it that way. If you can't do it the right way, and it's just a rule of thumb, if I cannot go in my bank account and go pay cash, I don't need it. I don't need it. At 39 years old, I can tell you guys very swift. At this stage of my life, anything that I have that I don't need, I don't want. It's just unnecessary burden, unnecessary stress, and it can be avoided. But please, please, if you take nothing else from this video, understand the idiot tax is real. That every place that you go, somebody's trying to separate you from your money. When you're going down the street and you see that car dealership, they want your money. When you're going down here and you see that deli, or you see that bodega, or you see convenience store, Publix down here in Florida, whatever, insert name here to where you can go get you a meal made real quick. They want to separate you from your money. They don't care if you have enough to get to the end of the month. They just care about making sure that their bottom line is met, that their employees are paid, that everything that they are doing continues to flourish. You have to have that same level of intensity when it comes down to solving your own problems. And I'm telling you this, and I started off telling you this from my own experience, because I've had to go through processes over and over again. And now I still got processes to go through. Okay, cool. I've hyperextended myself this way, went back to school, did this, and now that I took the fruits of that situation, worked myself up through a promotion over here, now I have to claw myself out of certain things so that I can get to the next place that I'm trying to get into. But I like to be real. I like to be transparent and tell you guys like it is. There's not all roses and bubbles. I personally have way too many credit cards, and way too many of those credit cards have balances on them. I know that. And that's why I come to you guys and I tell you guys, hey, you don't have to be a guru to use common sense. This is what works. When I sat down, wrote down all my numbers, this is how much debt I have, this is how much it will cost. If I take this additional, I made this additional, or I allocated this much of my pay outside of my regular monthly recurring bills in order to save this over this period of time, I could be debt free in 2.5 years, 3 years, 4 years. Whatever the circumstances may be, whatever I can afford to do, I can space it out over said period of time to get rid of it. And it's very easy to do. Anyway, that's my time, guys. Please, if you take nothing away from this, look at your life and find out, where are you paying the idiot tax at? Where are you doing it? You've got to fill up gas somewhere where the gas is cheap, and you out in a big city somewhere where the gas is much more expensive. Did you not get your brakes done on a regular basis, or you didn't get your oil change done on a regular basis, and now you have major motor work or you have major brake work because you didn't let that brake pad shrivel down to nothing, that's been eaten into your rotor, and they got to change the rotors and the brake pads because, there's a lot of idiot tax examples that you can use. But look at your life. Examine your situation and find out, where are you making your mistakes? Where are people getting you because what you're neglecting to do? And you will be surprised at how well you will be able to come up with suitable examples and understand of how to proceed to preserve your wealth in the future. Anyway, that's my time, guys. Peace.